Last week, the Becker County Board of Commissioners met at the regular meeting and decided to end their pursuit of combining the auditor-treasurer's position, which is an elected position, with the recorder's position, which would have then made it an appointed position if a piece of legislation which the county would have wanted introduced at the state senate would have been introduced, which it no longer will be now that the Becker County's decided not to go that route. The County Commission came to this decision after last week's second public hearing, in which the vast majority of those in attendance all spoke against the idea of combining the offices and taking it away from the voters to select who would be their auditor-treasurer. Members of the Becker County Board of Commission kind of were in consensus that they really thought combining the offices would be one of the best things for the county in the long term, but their consensus was they would not go against the majority wishes of those that attended the meeting and spoke. There's a couple things I think we can take away from this. One, I applaud the Becker County Board of Commissioners' decision to decide to keep these offices separate and allow us to continue to vote for auditor-treasurer. I believe the auditor-treasurer can serve as a great check and balance on the Becker County Board of Commissioners, since they're kind of the bean counter and kind of the one that's so instrumental in getting the budget ready. It's nice to have somebody that isn't appointed and just works directly for the County Board of Commissioners instead of an elected person that really works for the people of Becker County with the Becker County Board of Commissioners. I think you would have changed that dynamic had you had changed the way this particular position is appointed and how it's done. But this is why I think so many people were vehemently against this. In two public hearings, only one person spoke in favor of the idea. Everybody else spoke against the idea. And here's why. There is this fundamental distrust right now, I think, of government at the local level and at the upper level. Let's face it, in the last 2 years here in Becker County, we've had almost complete turnover of our department heads. After the first 6 years while I was here in the Lakes area, we only had maybe one or two. So this seems like there's something a little weird going on. Maybe it's just the time. Maybe things cycle through quicker than what I experienced in my first part of my existence here in the Lakes area. But it just didn't feel quite right. This finally felt right. Even though the county board says they thought they'd be acting in the best interest by combining them, they went with the majority wishes of the people. This is also an example of what happens when we show up to talk. They couldn't ignore the people showing up at these meetings. When you're active with your government and let people know exactly what you think and feel, face-to-face at a meeting in public, which I know can be scary because you're speaking in public, can be somewhat ruffling with your neighbors maybe because you're putting on the record your opinions which might contradict what other people in the area think or believe. And some people are too worried about creating those kind of enemies or bad feelings. And frankly, those people that might have a bad feeling about you because of your personal beliefs or opinions, they just need to get over that themselves if they're your neighbors, really. But this is an example of how being active with the local government got local results. If we had been this active with local citizens showing up at these public hearings, I don't think we'd have a local option sales tax being enacted this summer on a county-wide level. But I digress. This is an example, I think, of the county board acting in conjunction with what the majority citizens want. And I don't think we need less local control in local government. We need as much local control as possible. Government is simply run by people. We're putting them in trust of everything that we have. We elect them to do that, and we've got to hope they function, they hope they run with it. If they're appointed there and somebody's a lackey for the county board, they may never be removed. If somebody's now the auditor-treasurer and things aren't going right, especially if we have some election issues again like we've had the last couple of elections, there's an opportunity to change it. So now it's open. Somebody else can become the auditor-treasurer. They can run for the office, and right now they're looking to appoint someone. So you can find out more about that if you're the candidate by getting a hold of the county commissioners or the Becker County administrator, quite frankly, and talk with them about applying.